Karl Marx quotes. Inspirational quotes. Famous quotes. Philosophy. Wisdom. Life. Success. Quotes CN. The oppressed are allowed once every few years to decide which particular representatives of the oppressing class are to represent and repress them. Surround yourself with people who make you happy. People who make you laugh, who help you when you're in need. People who genuinely care. They are the ones worth keeping in your life. Everyone else is just passing through. The last capitalist we hang shall be the one who sold us the rope. Hegel remarks somewhere that all great world historical facts and personages occur, as it were, twice. He has forgotten to add, the first time as tragedy, the second as farce. Reason has always existed, but not always in a reasonable form. It is not the consciousness of men that determines their being, but, on the contrary, their social being that determines their consciousness. Go on, get out. Last words are for fools who haven't said enough. Religion is the impotence of the human mind to deal with occurrences it cannot understand. The proletarians have nothing to lose but their chains. They have a world to win. There is no royal road to science, and only those who do not dread the fatiguing climb of its steep paths have a chance of gaining its luminous summits. Modern bourgeois society, with its relations of production, of exchange, and of property, a society that has conjured up such gigantic means of production and of exchange, is like the sorcerer, who is no longer able to control the powers of the nether world whom he has called up by his spells. Under no pretext should arms and ammunition be surrendered. Any attempt to disarm the workers must be frustrated, by force if necessary. In proportion therefore, as the repulsiveness of the work increases, the wage decreases. Religion is the sigh of the oppressed creature, the heart of a heartless world and the soul of soulless conditions. It is the opium of the people. Communism is the riddle of history solved, and it knows itself to be this solution. The tradition of all dead generations weighs like a nightmare on the brains of the living. Society does not consist of individuals, but expresses the sum of interrelations, the relations within which these individuals stand. The increase in value of the world of things is directly proportional to the decrease in value of the human world. Then the world will be for the common people, and the sounds of happiness will reach the deepest springs. Ah, come, people of every land, how can you not be roused? Communism is for us not a state of affairs which is to be established, an ideal to which reality will have to adjust itself. We call communism the real movement which abolishes the present state of things. The conditions of this movement result from the premises now in existence. If you love without evoking love in return, if through the vital expression of yourself as a loving person you fail to become a loved person, then your love is impotent, it is a misfortune. The ruling ideas of each age have ever been the ideas of its ruling class. The production of too many useful things results in too many useless people. Capital is dead labor, which, vampire-like, lives only by sucking living labor, and lives the more labor it sucks. But modern bourgeois private property is the final and most complete expression of the system of producing and appropriating products that is based on class antagonisms, on the exploitation of the many by the few. The education of all children, from the moment that they can get along without a mother's care, shall be in state institutions. The theory of communists may be summed up in the single sentence, abolition of private property. Money is the universal, self-constituted value of all things. Hence it has robbed the whole world of its proper value. Money is the alienated essence of man's labor and life. And this alien essence dominates him as he worships it. It is well known how the monks wrote silly lives of Catholic saints over the manuscripts on which the classical works of ancient heathendom had been written. Necessity is blind until it becomes conscious. Freedom is the consciousness of necessity. Money is the alienated essence of man's labor and life. And this alien essence dominates him as he worships it. Education is free. Freedom of education shall be enjoyed under the condition fixed by law and under the supreme control of the state. To be radical is to go to the root of the matter. For man, however, the root is man himself. Political power, properly so called, is merely the organized power of one class for oppressing another. All that is solid melts into air. All that is holy is profaned. And man is at last compelled to face with sober senses his real conditions of life, and his relations with his kind. A commodity appears at first sight an extremely obvious, trivial thing. But its analysis brings out that it is a very strange thing, abounding in metaphysical subtleties and theological niceties. You must be aware that the reward for labor and quantity of labor are quite disparate things. Merely quantitative differences beyond a certain point pass into qualitative changes. All science would be superfluous if the outward appearance and the essence of things directly coincided. Society as a whole is more and more splitting up into two great hostile camps.